went through, but it wasn't easy. I just remember being very, very, very painful. And I did the same thing, went into the bathroom. I was like, okay, I need your help. I don't know what to do with this situation. Blah, blah. They grabbed my hand, put it in my heart. But this time I allowed it to be. Like, he's like, okay, fine, you guys have been doing this for such a long time. Okay, fine, I'm here. What is it that you want with my hand on my chest? And then I quiet myself down. And I guess unconsciously put all my attention in my heart, in my hand and my heart. And then I felt a beat of my heart, but I guess it was louder that I could feel it right away. But as soon as I felt it, everything disappeared. Like, I wasn't crying anymore. There was not even more tears coming out. There was just a tremendous sense of peace. Hi everyone, hope you guys are having a great day. In this video today, we're gonna talk about the second part of the previous video, my trip to New York, following my heart and rescuing, even though it was true in a sense, rescuing someone. I think the way I would like to start this video is to start explaining why it is so important for me to follow my heart, and my biggest desire for all of us to follow our hearts, because it does literally physically communicate with us. I was trying to explain all this, thanks to my previous video, to many people, and they'll laugh at me. A lot of them laughed at me, and some of them criticized me and thought it was ridiculous because the heart is just an organ that, pumps blood uh, in and out of our system. In a sense, is what keeps us alive, and that's all. But to me, it's so much more than that. And luckily, there are a lot of more people that knows this to be true and believes this, and we live our lives according to that. Even though, like I explained before, I was brought back to this because being in this relationship that had just ended, in a sense, took me away. When I did it, not that he did it, but unconsciously, I let that relationship take me away from that connection with my own heart, with this greater way of seeing life and living life, in a sense. So I remember the first time I was told to listen to my heart. I had connected with the spirits already back then, but there's still a lot of times where I would go through not so easy situations that I couldn't understand. And I remember I used to then love when I started loving being in the dark, because I feel like being in the dark, in a really, really dark room, and you take the breaths, it like really brings you to the moment. But of course, if you're afraid of the dark and being by yourself, you have to work on that fear first before you jump into a dark room and, okay, help me out here, whoever is here, please help me, because you will freak out. The help is there. It will tell you what to do. So when I did it, I had to work on my fears and all that, knowing myself, understanding and connecting with opening this new door. So once I did, I will go straight to the bathroom because it was the darkest place. And as soon as I will close the door, everything will turn pitch dark. And I will ask them, a lot of times frustrated, a lot of times anxious, a lot of times like sad. Please help me! I need help right now. Blah, blah. And I will take a deep breath to kind of see if I will feel something or see something magical. And all they will do, they will grab my left hand and put it on my heart. And of course, I didn't feel anything. And it will frustrate me even more so at the beginning. It's like, what the heck? This doesn't do anything. This is not solving my problem. I'm telling you that this and this and this and this and this is going on. And now you're telling me that I have to do this and this is not doing anything. Whatever. And I will storm out of the bathroom, feeling more frustrated. And of course, the situation will not get better because I was still frustrated. And when we're frustrated or sad or all this much, not that they're bad, but when we do it for long periods of times, we block that greater information that is all around us, but we block it because the frustration of that doesn't allow us to feel it, see it, or understand it. Even if it's right here, we will not understand it. That's very clear to me now, because even if someone is frustrated, I'm trying to give them the answer. Okay, this is what you need to do. Oh yeah, stop it, blah, blah. Just like I was doing when they were telling me in my heart, this is stupid, blah, blah, and they will storm out, and they will tell me, they will even be mad at me or upset with me. Oh my gosh, I just realized that it's like people do that to me now, and that's exactly what I did in the past to my heart, like, to the spirit. So this angel was like, do this. This will help you. This will calm you down. This will help you literally. This is stupid, blah, blah, blah. Until one day I was crying. I don't remember what I was going through, but it wasn't easy. It was, I just remember being very, very, very painful. And I did the same thing, went into the bathroom. I was like, oh, need your help. I don't know what to do with this situation. Blah, blah. They grabbed my hand, put it in my heart. But this time I allowed it to be. Like, it's like, okay, fine, you guys have been doing this for such a long time. Okay, fine, I'm here. What is it that you want with my hand on my chest? And then I quiet myself down. And I guess unconsciously put all my attention in my heart, in my hand and my heart. And then I felt the beat of my heart, but I guess it was louder that I could feel it right away. But as soon as I felt it, everything disappeared. Like I wasn't crying anymore. There was not even more tears coming out. There was just a tremendous sense of peace. I started laughing. I was like, "Oh my god, this is really I cannot it cannot be this easy. Really? Is it really that this easy that whatever you're going through, just do this and everything just you get it. It's like you're getting it off of you in a sense, like literally you're getting it off of you, and then you just feel such peace moment because there's nothing sticking on you. And I was literally just laughing like, no wait, all this time this is what you guys were trying to tell me, and I was so stubborn and I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to put my hand in here. I would just storm out of the bathroom and do nothing, and then suffer a little bit more, right? In that process, until that day. So that was the actually the second time. Wasn't the first time. The second time that I was connecting with my heart, and literally and physically, and could literally feel it now when I do it. If I close my eyes right now and I feel the beat of my heart and then all my attention in it, I feel like my whole body starts doing this, like beating, like my whole body becomes the heart and it starts beating, and it's so awesome. It's so peaceful to feel that, and that's what I would love for all of you guys to experience that on your own. Again, don't believe what I say, but please play with it, experiment with it, and go and find your own truth, because that's all I want. I'm not trying to force anyone to do anything, or to, like many people, you think you're forcing me or you want me to be like you. No, that's so far from the truth. I know I don't want anyone to be like me, but I want everyone to experience this magic, to feel this peace that is within us, to feel this happiness, this immense amount of love towards, not only towards me, but towards everything and towards everyone, that is unexplainable. I can just feel it, and it's so magical and so powerful. So the reason why it's so important and how they started, and when I learned that your heart literally talks to you, is because I heard of a spiritual girl, and I will put her information in there, Teal Swan. She talks a lot about connecting with your heart and a lot of amazing things. I used to follow her back then, and her messages really resonated with me tremendously, especially because I wanted to understand what I was feeling personally and physically. All this connection with the spirits that no one will talk about it, no one will write about it, and I guess I wasn't looking for it, but now I know that there are many people and many books back then in the 1800s, even 1500s, 1300s, that will talk about these experiences. I was raised Catholic, and I remember even in the Bible or talking about Jesus, it always just the heart. It's everything, the heart, the heart, the heart. So it has something to do with it, right? So I did a meditation. I was at my apartment by myself. No one was there, so I took that as an opportunity. And I lay down on the couch, and again put my left hand on my heart. And the way you're supposed to do is like you asked your heart if you have made him happy. And that was literally my first question. And the response was extreme physical pain on my chest. And I knew that at the moment there was nothing to be afraid of. It was just like I knew that I had literally hurt my heart, or that had not made it happy very little times, I guess, in my life, because like I mentioned before, I was the type of person that will be judging of myself, not loving myself, hating myself. Wouldn't even look at my mirror in the mirror because I saw always a horrible human being, horrible person. And it wasn't until I started loving myself that I've seen the truth of who I really am. So all that causes pain to our heart. So it was showing me literally, physically, yeah, duh, you haven't been doing what makes me happy. That is some loving yourself, follow what I say in a sense. So it was humongous and so powerful for me. And I started apologizing. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this to you. Yes, you're right. Because it's not just your heart, but you, yourself, me, who I was mistreating so much. And the pain was now physical. So I apologized to it. And as soon as I started apologizing, my heart started feeling more relaxed, more calm. Like it appreciated my apology. Um, it understood that I'm for real, that I'm gonna do something different, and I'm really interested in making a change in my life. So after apologizing, I started for giving thanks for all the work that it does, because remember, it never stops, 24/7, never stops, to give us life. So appreciating that, but also asking it what will make him or her happy. Um, and as soon as I ask that, what will make you happy? And if you tell me what makes you happy, I will do it. Sadly, at that time, I didn't do it. And I wonder still until this day what would have happened if I would have followed my heart back then. But because of that, I will never do that again. So I follow. And that's why I had to go to New York, because I had to follow what it's telling me. It's for a bigger, greater, more powerful, beautiful, magical reason. So I'm going to do it. As crazy as it might sound, as many people can laugh at me, judge me, but it doesn't matter. I have to follow it. Right. And, but that back then I didn't. So I still wonder, I wonder what would have happened. What would my life be right now if I would have listened to the message? And what it showed me back then is like, as soon as I said, what will make you happy? Right away in my mind, inside my head, a lot of images, very fast, of pictures and traveling. Very fast. I couldn't get one after the other because they were going so fast. It was image after me, image after me, image. But I knew it was photography and traveling. And but then at the end, almost at the end, I was at the end, I thought or saw it as the end of my meditation, in a sense of the image of my heart telling me what will make it happy. The last image was like a movie that started going very slow, but I could see every detail. And even right now, thinking about it, going back to that memory, I can see every single detail. It was like an abandoned house. You know, those houses that are abandoned, they don't have windows, there is no door, just the frame of the door, the frame of the windows, and there is plants growing around the house outside, but also plants, all kind of plants inside of the house. So that's where I was. I was inside of this abandoned house, where it has a door frame and two window frames on each side, and there was a little wall separating the door from the windows. And the grass, it was very tall, and I had a camera, and I went down on one knee to take a picture of, I didn't know what at the moment. I just knew I was bending down on a knee and I was looking at the door frame outside. But once I did that, on this wall on the other side, so there was a groom and a bride, even though I never saw them in a sense. I only saw their arm and their hands, but I knew there was a groom and a bride. And the groom was on this side, again, was on the other side of the wall. I wish I could explain it. I don't know if I'm going to find an image or something that pictures, in a sense, that shows you what I literally saw. I'm going to try my best. But the groom was on this side and the bride was on this side. And all they were doing is like, they were holding hands. And that's what I was going to take a picture of. It's like, I will only see their arms, the center of the door frame, holding hands, and that's what I was gonna take a picture of. Again, groom, bride, holding hands, and that was it. That was my frame. Which in my head, again, it looked so beautiful, so perfect. And then I started thanking my heart again, saying, "Do my best to follow it." Sadly, I didn't do my best, but he forgave me. I know I did. It showed me in the mushroom ceremony that I did. It literally was kind of making fun of me. So I was thanking them. I was about to finish the meditation. I was very grateful again for all the work that does nonstop. I remember I was by myself in that room when suddenly an actual physical voice of a woman in the room right here, but it was like up high. It was like cake, 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 and I do this because it was like again 3 times loud, louder, and loudest. And I was like, it really got me out of the meditation. It's like, what the heck was that? It's like literally, I heard a voice, cake, cake, cake. Okay, what does cake have to do with, or has to do with my meditation and my heart? But maybe there is something to it, so I'm better pay attention to it. So I went on my day paying attention to see if anyone at any point of the day or my life, the word cake will come into my reality. Um, that day I was supposed to go and meet. I had a date that night, and the reason why I had a date again, there was no explanation for this other than to know that there are even messages in our dreams, believe it or not. A lot of people have lucid dreams too, and they see or dream of things that the next day or 2 days it happens, like literally, and they get scared of it because a lot of times they have seen people, family members that died, and then sure enough they see it on the dream, and then a few days after that happens. The only lucid dream that I can say physically and literally with proof that it happened, it was because for this date, back then I had a dream of this guy. It was a friend of a friend that apparently he liked me and wanted to go out with me, but I didn't feel I wasn't really interested until this dream that I saw him in my dream. He was very well dressed, completely different what he would look physically in that sense, but it had a very powerful energy to him. And I was like, oh, maybe I need to go out with that guy, I said in my dream. But in my dream, I also was like, but how would I do? I don't even know his name. I felt I don't even know his name. And I woke up. Like literally, I woke up, I was in my room in the dark, and I sat down. It's like, well, if you guys, and I was literally talking out loud to this energy that we cannot see, but it's there, right? If you guys want me to go out with this guy, you at least have to tell me the name because I don't know their name, right? And I just threw myself back and I went back to sleep right away. And I said right away because right away I remember just having another dream, and I was knocking at the door. I was going to my friend's house, but my friend wasn't in the house. It was a guy that opened the door. It's like, hey, I have a question for my friend. And she's like, yeah, come on in. But she wasn't there. It was her sister that was there. Again, see, I remember every single detail. It was dark, and I don't even remember the face of the person, which I know it was a guy. So he opened the door. I go in there, and my sister's friend, no, my friend's sister was in the kitchen, and she was facing that way, and there was a window, and she was doing the dishes. And then I said, "Hey, I have a question for you." And she turned around, and she just said, "His name is David." It's like, "Oh, okay, thank you," and I left. And then I woke up, and next day it was like morning, and I woke up, I was like, what? His name is David? Okay, but I really don't know. Oh my gosh, now I had to text my friend and ask her. And I feel bad because it's horrible that, not to remember people's names and working, and I'm doing better at it. It's important. So I text her, and she not luckily, but sadly, it took her forever to reply. So the entire day I was like, and she's like, what if it's true? What if it's his name? Oh my gosh, what if? Sure enough, I get a text message that night. Guess what the name was? His name is David, she said. It's like, oh my God, this is crazy. Now I had to, I guess, call him, and I asked for his number and go out with him. Again, not knowing, I still don't know why the intention of that dream and for me to go out with that person. But what I do know that everything that crosses our paths, things, people, animals, situations, they all have a bigger, greater message, guidance for all of us, if we're aware of it. Because if we're not aware, we just feel hurt and pushed and stepped on, and we don't get it, and we just suffer. But when we're aware of it, that's what that's what it is, then you always see a message on everything and everyone. And that's what makes my life so kind of beautiful, because I see that I don't see as you hurting me. I see it's like, oh, there's something within me hurting me, and you're showing me that, so I'm gonna go work on that, and then I come back to you. I'm not gonna hate you, stupid, blah, push you, and then get out of my life. No, I don't do that, because I know it doesn't serve me. What serves me is that if I'm aware of what's happening, I'm aware of how it's making me feel, and I go and do my work, and then I get my answer. And instead of hating that person, I end up loving them so crazy much more, because I know it was just a message, it was a guidance. So that's how life, well, that's how I see life nowadays. So the day that I did the meditation, that was the day I was having the date with this guy, and I saw him, and he didn't look like the dream I had. It was just different, but it was him. But I was still always paying attention to the word cake, which it didn't come up. It was funny. We had dinner, we talked, and we realized that the connection wasn't there. That we were not meant to do anything else past that date, which is interesting. Other than for me too, the funny part is, see, I talk about that day forever and ever, and I will talk forever and ever, because it did have a purpose, to remind me of how beautiful, how powerful life is, and the connection that we have in dreams or awake or with people is powerful. So it did have a purpose, right? But not physically for us to spend more time together. So we ate, and then the waitress came to offer some dessert. But it's like, hey, no, that's the word dessert, not cake. Okay, well, okay, there's nothing here. Go home. Bye bye. I went home, and once again, my daughter, like the other experience, and in the other video too, that I go home, Mom, you want to watch a movie? Those were my daughter's lines. You want to watch a movie with me? Okay, yeah, let's watch a movie. It was pretty late. It was like 9 p.m. or something like that. And she's like, hey, Mom, there's a new movie. We haven't seen this one. Okay, yeah, sure, play that one. Well, the name of the movie is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a fun movie. It's really good. I recommend it. But I guess I recommend it has a powerful life meaning. That again, going back to that, what is it that you really want to do? Let's do that. Let's stop worrying about making payments. I know it's not easy, but even though I'm telling you, it's not easy when I'm in a situation where I have to figure out a place to live, and all this stuff, no money, no nothing. But for the first time in my life, I feel good. I know something good is gonna come out of this. I know everything's gonna be fine. It has always been fine, especially if I look for that and not concentrate on the pain. How am I gonna do this? Blah 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 blah. And then it causes too much pain. It drains you, and there is no energy to do anything else other than to get sick, frustrated, sad, and hopeless in a sense. So now I'm losing where I was. So that day I went home, and she plays the movie, and I'm not gonna ruin the movie for you guys. So I'm gonna say just the important parts. But at the very beginning, it has a very powerful um, meaning for me, because at the very beginning, the sister of Walter Mitty is like, hey, Walter, you want some cake? So as soon as I'm like, oh my gosh, there is a word, cake. There is something in this freaking movie for me. Oh my gosh, cake. It is there. And she mentions the word like two more, maybe another time, maybe two more times, cake. It's like, oh my gosh. And so I sat like this watching that movie. It's like, what is the message for me? But that movie again, a lot of traveling, pictures. And it hit me at the end of the movie. I cried, because it was a reaffirmation that the meditation I had done with my heart, it was true. It had been true. Not only communicated through me with images, physical words, but now with this movie, that it couldn't be more clear than that. I mean, like, okay, you need to work on your pictures and travel all over the world. Just do what makes you happy. And this is what will make my heart happy. Again, sadly, I didn't do it. And that's why this time, when my heart tells me literally go to New York and rescue this person, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna do that again. I'm gonna go and do what he told me to do, because something greater, more magical, more important is there. Maybe not only for me, maybe it's just for me, but maybe for everyone else, even maybe for the people that are watching this video, that I hope so. It does help us to go back to our heart, because what if it's true that following our heart is what we need to change the world? What if, right? And all we have to do is that follow what it tells us to do. That again, it will do it through images, through thoughts, through physical sound, through physical experiences, through movies, through all this world of wonderful people, things that is guiding us, that we're guiding each other, communicating with each other. But if we are aware and we follow this, then we can hear the message, right? So it was so beautiful and powerful that that's why I decided to just go back to it. And every time I'm not feeling or that I'm not in a easy space or something, I just put my hand on my chest, take a couple deep breaths, and then feel the beat of my heart. And even if I do it right now, I'm so connected to it, in a sense that I feel my whole body just doing this, beating with it, my whole body. And at that moment, really nothing matters, nothing exists. That's why they say live the moment, live the present, because when you come down here to this moment right here, right now, there's nothing to worry about it, to think about it, to pay even, there's nothing nothing. It's just this moment. And whatever it is that you're feeling, feel it fully and completely, right? So, because the meditations, because that connection, because the dream, because all that, it was important for me this time after the mushroom ceremony to really follow what it told me to do. That again, I know it's crazy and many people laugh at me, judge me and all that. I already said it and I repeat it. It didn't affect me. All I knew is that I had to do it. And I did. I used my credit card, bought the tickets, booked the hotel. I was gonna rent a car. That's the only thing I knew. I was gonna go there, get off the plane, rent a car, and then just go to this place and rescue this person. Of what? I don't know. Does it really need rescue? I don't know. One thing I did though, before I left, I did a meditation for to try to get more information. I said, what is it that I really is it really this what I need to do? Even though I know I'm gonna do it, but is there anything else that I need to know? And all I saw is like he has a daughter, and for the people that just watching this video, my heart after that mushroom ceremony asked me to go to New York and rescue this person that I had dated 10 years ago. But the other video prior to this, if you watch, he explains all the magic, all the beauty, all the doors that he opened into my reality. And that's why we'll do anything now to help him have a easier life in any way I can, because now knowing that we all help each other. So I did go to New York, bought the tickets, went there, only knowing that I was gonna rent a car and then just go to their place. I even before I left, I wrote a letter for them, just in case they were not there. Not only for him, but for him, his family, because again, doing meditation, I said that the little daughter who smiled at me, but then it showed me that how they were not having a great connection together, but that in some way they're meant to be together. So it wasn't like I was going there to separate it and find the love of my life, even though I could say literally and easily he's the love of my life, because he opened so much into my reality, in my world, that I will love him forever and ever, right? He will mean tremendously to me, and I will do anything for him just to help him have an easier way of life, in a sense. And I'm sorry I keep repeating this, but it's because it's so minimal, so powerful, and it's true. It's really true, and that to me is true unconditional love. I don't need to be with this person in order to know that I love them. We don't need to be with the specific people to know that we love them, but we just know that we love them so much we'll do anything for them anytime. And I didn't need to just go on there and be with him, and I have to be with him and destroy their marriage or the relationship or anything. No, on the contrary, it was to make it more powerful, stronger. And that's what I explained on the letter that I wrote to them. And that's what I was gonna say once I was there, if they were okay or if it wasn't okay, explain what it needed to be done. And it was, again, connect to your heart, connect to yourself, and connect to each other, because your daughter is asking for it, your daughter needs it and wants it. And I guess that's why I'm doing all this, because it was like a direct connection with her, in a sense, to the way I interpreted and the meditation that I did after. But once I got to the airport, there was no easy way for me to rent a car. There were phones that we were supposed to use and call, and nothing. We couldn't even communicate. Someone answered and they would hang up. It was just no easy. I had to go back a little bit. I did it wasn't a direct flight. I had to stop in Charlotte, North Carolina. And on the second flight, I met a girl. As soon as I was gonna sit down on my seat when my intuition told me you had to talk to her. And again, I followed that intuition. It has always taken me to magical and unbelievable places, and it has helped the person that I'm talking to in many ways. So that's why I do it. So he told me that talk to her. We had the most amazing conversation for 2.5 hours, 4 hours, 4.5 hours, in that sense, because the flight was 2.5 hours. But then from the airport to where she needed to go and I needed to go, it took another 2 hours because traffic is crazy there, literally crazy. But it gave us the opportunity to talk even more. So the first question I asked her is like, well, so do you follow your heart? You follow your passion? What it tells you? Oh yeah, I follow it all the time. Yeah, for certainty. It's like, oh, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. Yeah, keep doing that. It's awesome. Blah blah. But we keep talking, and well, she's opened up to me in such a way that she's not comfortable to do it with even some of her family, because it's not easy. It wasn't easy for me at the beginning, but now I do it openly and widely, and I'm loud sometimes with it. But I understand that it's not easy because it's talking about spirits, energy, things that we're not used to talk about or feel or hear. Like I said, talking about me following what my heart told me, which is an organ that doesn't supposed to, it's not talk to you, it just gives you life. And now, according to you, your heart is talking to you, and you're gonna go to New York to find a guy. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Not in those same words, but yes. So it's not easy to express those things. So that's how she felt. She, on her own, had her magic, in the sense that she has very lucid dreams, and everything that she dreams, it actually happens 2 days or 5 days after. But she was scared of it, afraid of speaking up, because again, it sounds crazy. No one will believe her. People will judge her, and she might lose a lot of friends. But she knew that that's what she wanted to do at some point of her life, because it was very powerful. And so we knew that it wasn't coincidence that I was sitting right next to her, going through this experience, but also talking to her about why I'm doing and why the importance of following my heart and the spirits and connections, sleep paralysis, out of body experiences. We talk about all this stuff. And again, it's not easy to find someone to talk about this stuff. I just talk about it though. Even if you're ready or not, I will tell you, because the message is there, because I feel like we're all ready, but it's up to you. You still have your own will to choose to do it now or later or never or the next life. It doesn't matter. But the information is there. So she felt comfortable enough and told me all of her experiences. And at the end, we realized, like, oh, so let me ask you again, are you really following your heart? Because it sounds like you have not been following your heart, because what she really wanted to do is come to a point of so much peace and courage, because it does take courage and faith. That's where that trip was taking me, to increment my courage, my faith towards the unknown. And for her to do that, to start helping more people with her dreams and guiding. It's like, what if your dreams are really trying to tell you that that's what you need to tell to other people, to guide them or to stop something from happening, and you haven't because you are afraid of X or Y, which is valid. But how about you work on that, and then you will see. So she was so excited, and she was ready to take the next step, whatever it is, to like someone says, come out of the closet in the spiritual world. Because it's not easy. You have to, a lot of people hide a lot of stuff because it's not easy to talk about this. And so I was telling her, what if that was the reason of my trip at the same time? I went there because my heart told me I needed to rescue someone specifically that I had met 10 years ago. But what if it's not just about rescuing him? What if it was about rescuing myself? Because being in this relationship took me away from my connection with myself, with my heart. So how is ever connecting with myself? How about rescuing this beautiful girl that is desperate to share her gift, but she didn't know how. And if I wouldn't have followed my heart, she would still be in the unknown. I mean, we now talk over the phone. We send to each other text messages and see, hey, anything that you need. How are you doing? How can I help you take the next step and things like that. So it's been it was beautiful to just the beginning of that trip. That hey, my intuition told me to be here, my intuition told me to talk to you. My heart told me, or my heart, my intuition, however you want to call it, is the same energy. And here I am talking to you and helping you take the next step. But what about this video? What if this video helps other people that are ready to connect, that already been having weird experience, scary experiences, that cannot understand it, but thanks to this video, they can relax a little bit and let it come to you and open up to it and have fun with it, because that's all we need to do. Have fun with this extra sensory, extra crazy stuff that we cannot see a lot of the times, but is there guiding us, helping us communicate better with ourselves and with the entire world, literally, in a sense. So um we couldn't rent a car. I couldn't rent a car. So I just went to the hotel, ready to rent a car that afternoon. I couldn't. So everything was just preventing me from renting a car. But finally, that afternoon, I rented a car to leave to that place the next day. And even if it was to drop the leather, I did. I had everything set. Like, okay. So I just walked on New York a lot. And it was freeing in a sense, because just like when I met him, it was an experiment to put myself out there and see what I was capable of doing. I feel like it's funny that that's how it started, and then coming back to it brought me back to him to do the same thing. Let's see what I'm capable of doing. And going to this crazy journey has allowed me to see clearly what I'm capable of doing. And if I'm capable of doing this, I am capable of doing so much more, so much more. And I'm ready for it. And that's why I'm making these videos and talking so freely, so much more about this, because it's powerful, it's important, it's more real than what you can even imagine. And I know there are people that are going to laugh, still laugh, but it's okay. They're where they are. Their journey is important too, is valuable, and where they are is okay. And again, it's valuable for all of us. So it's not like they're in the wrong. It's just like it's where they are. I appreciate that. So um walking in New York, traveling on my own, it was not easy for me, but I did it because it's something I've never done, even though I came to the United States all on my own and I'm here. But I had forgotten, let's put it made in that way. I have forgotten to see the beauty of those experiences. I'm about to embark on another new crazy experience. I don't know where it's gonna take me, but all I know is that I feel good, I'm relaxed, and it's gonna be okay. And it's gonna be more than okay. And going on that trip, it proved that. And again, the next day I was ready to go rent a car and then go there. But that night, this person I had not talked to in forever texted me, telling me that he was okay, which I was glad. I need to actually rescue him from something scary or pretty bad or something like that, even though I would have done it. But no, he was okay. So I explained to him the situation and I sent him the letter, because the letter literally explained everything, that my intentions of doing my following my heart and being there for him no matter what, to help them again with my meditation, where I so reconnect with his partner, that they deserve it, they need it, and they need to be happier, not only now for them, the two of them, but now for their little daughter, who knows, with their union, with their connection, might help us later on in life too. It's part of our future, their future, but it's part of our future. It's like they're gonna help with this uh, big change that is happening right now. That's where so many things going on, but it's because we're ready for something greater, something better. But it's gonna be easier if we really literally follow our heart. And following our heart doesn't mean, okay, everyone, if your heart tells you go to China right now, doesn't mean that you really have to do it. It means that it also means that you have to listen to it, because it's also telling you what makes you happy. What is your passion? That's your heart talking to you. What makes you laugh so much? What relaxes you? Because that's is your heart still talking to you. And we forgot about following what we really love doing. Like, for example, I didn't follow photography. I mean, I have the picture in my computer and all that, and I share it with people. And sometimes I have them print and give them as a gift to people. But what if I would have done something else? What if my life was completely different and I wouldn't have to be in this situation right now because I have followed my passion and I've been doing better, great with photography, right? So even though I can still do it, but now my passion is talking about this, sharing this gift. It was it's if you all knew how powerful it is to share our gift, what we came here to do, it could be talking to people, it could be painting, it could be singing, it could be even I met a lady that she used to come here and clean the house, and her passion was to clean the house, and it was so beautiful because guess what? Every time she came here to clean the house, oh my gosh, you could feel it. You could feel the love. You could feel the energy. You could feel the change. It was just powerful. And what if we all do that? Whatever the job it is, even if it's washing cars, what if that's your passion? And we just don't, we forgot how to value all those things, right? But when we follow our heart, it doesn't matter if someone values it, people will value it because it shows the love. The car will shine more. I don't know. I mean, it will stay cleaner for a longer periods of times when you do it with so much love and passion. I've been doing it with plants, with a lot of things, and I've seen the change on things. So I want to share this, and I want everyone to remember that what if that's all we need to do, even if you just want to use these videos as that, okay, I remember that if I'm anxious right now, how I can come down, how can I release that anxiousness? Okay, put my hand on my heart and then feel the beat of my heart, take deeper breaths and feel that beat. That's all you need to do, that's all we have to do, and everything just, and at the end, that's all we need for all of us to, okay, let's calm down, let's quiet our mind, so we have greater ideas, so we communicate better, so we can see beyond what we can see, beyond distraction, beyond disconnection, and we start connecting. Again, it has to start with us, like the saying, right? If you want to save the world, it has to start with who? With you, right? So it has to start with me. So what if by just me telling you, put your left hand on your heart and listen to the beat of your heart, which the HeartMath Institute, which I got a certification with them too, is like, that's what all have they've been doing, studying the heart, and they discovered the powerful connection, scientifically proven, the connection between your heart and your brain. When we connect it, when we make it one, then the doors open to peacefulness, to more love, to more connection, to greatness, literally. So you can, I will put the link on for them too. They even have tools for you to see if you're connecting with, if you're being coherent or incoherent, in the sense of your heart rate variability changes according to, depending on what thoughts you're having, what feelings you're having, and if you're in balance with yourself in a sense, and you can see it literally. So it is real, it's something real. So what if we all do that, just to stop thinking, just to relax for a moment, and the more we do it, the more difference we see in ourselves, but then the more difference we see in the people that surround us, and then the more difference we see in the rest of the world. So what if I just did it? I went to New York, I'm reconnecting with myself, it took me there. I'm glad that this person that I love and adore so much is okay, and I hope that, and I made him promise to let me know once in a while at least that he's still okay and is still reconnecting and following his happiness. And it helped me reconnect with a new friend that I have now. And then it helped me reconnect with myself and see how much more I can do for me and for the rest of the world. And I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone that supported me on this journey. I know crazy, but crazy fun, but supporting me in so many ways, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and monetarily. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And come on, let's do this together. It's possible. Let's connect with our hearts. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. We can talk about it. Please remember to subscribe, like the video. Oh no, like the video. But I love you all, no matter what. Love you. See you soon.